Hey everybody, Doug CrocGardener here. Hey, I want to show you one of the most beautiful plants that I've had in my garden this summer. And hopefully it'll be one of the most useful plants as well. This is the red Roselle Hibiscus. I grew it this summer essentially just to make tea out of it. A lot of people grow this plant just to have as a beautiful plant. Hibiscus is known as a beautiful flowering plant. This plant did flower. However, what I am after are these guys right here. These are the calyxes off the plant. Basically, the flower forms in front of the calyx, and then you're left with this little seed pod, or the calyx is what it's known as. So I am hoping to make delicious, tart, red, hot tea with this. Some people call it Sorrel, some people call it Jamaica, I think is what it's called. I just like red hibiscus. So let's go back to when I planted these guys. I did start these guys in the winter down in my basement. I started these guys, and I grew them essentially. They got real tall in some pots, and I kept growing them all throughout the year. And then finally, when it started getting warm, about mid-June, is when I started putting them into the beds. Matter of fact, it was after I had harvested my onions that I started putting these guys into the beds. So I kind of had a little bit of a double crop in there for this year. It's because they do like very, very warm temperatures. So you want to make sure that you got a pretty warm environment for these guys to grow. Another thing you got to do is make sure that you got a long growing time for these guys. That's why I started them indoors. I started them about 8 weeks indoors before the first frost, or last frost. So, like I said, we are after these little calyxes. So I've been out here harvesting these guys. Essentially, we're taking the calyxes and we're taking the leaves off of them, and we're gonna take off the petals off of these guys, and inside of them is a seed pod. You'll see a little green seed pod inside of these guys. These guys will take that green seed pod. We can just discard that green seed pod. I'm gonna leave some of the seed pods on here so that they fully ripen, and then I'll have seeds for next year. So I'll be harvesting those seeds. But we'll take the seed pod, just discard it, and we're after these red petals. The next thing I did with these red petals was I simply put them into the dehydrator and let them go at 100 degrees. Some type of low temperatures would be perfectly fine. But let them go for about 100 degrees, usually about 24 to maybe about 36 hours. They're done. Put them in a jar, and voila, you have this fantastic tea. Harvesting these guys is pretty simple. You should be able to take these guys and just snap them off, or if snapping them off does not work, I found with a few of them, snapping off did not work. I had to go through and cut them with the shears. Cutting with the shears was pretty easy. Just fill up a bowl, take them inside, and we're ready to go. So folks, this is one of the new ways I am getting a little bit more on my garden this year. I love drinking teas when it gets cold. Matter of fact, I love drinking coffee, but I actually have been trying to give that up because coffee prices have been going sky high. So I've been trying to save some money by drinking tea. And what better way of drinking tea that's from your garden to save more money? I tell you what, hopefully this will work out real well. This will be something I enjoy. I do know for a fact that I will probably plant this guy again just because of the beauty. Those flowers that we had on these guys were absolutely stunning. And it really, this is my second year trying to grow this. It wasn't really too hard to grow once I figured out what it needed. It does need a lot of sunlight. It does need a lot of warmth. So as long as you have those two things, you should be good to go with this guy. It's a fairly decent feeder as well, but my garden's made for that. I have plenty of good soil. So tell me down below in the comments, do you guys harvest anything from your garden to make tea? If you do, what do you guys harvest? Do you guys harvest mint? Do you guys harvest chamomile? I can add hibiscus here. I know basil's a fantastic plant for tea. Tell me all the different things that you can harvest from your garden that you make tea with. If you guys like what I'm doing here, don't forget that subscribe button. Click that bell, you'll get more notifications for videos just like this. I hope you guys are all staying warm. It's starting to get a little cooler where we're at. Hopefully you guys are staying warm, keeping warm out there. I'll tell you guys, look at that purplish color. Let's get a taste. Put a little honey in with this. But it's got a nice little tart taste to it. Tastes fantastic, guys. Cheers, everybody. God bless. Definitely gonna be a keeper.